I'm Michael. For the first 20-something years of my life, I didn't really care too much about what I ate until I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and it felt like everything I ate made me sick. After a decade of restrictive diets trying to save my colon, I decided to have Ostomy surgery when I became Mick Flair, the colonless competitive eater taking on the biggest food challenges I could find. Now I'm toning it down on behalf of all IBDers, looking for the most fun, creative, and yeah, sometimes gigantic meals around to determine once and for all, what can you eat with an ostomy? Hi everybody, welcome to What Can You Eat with an Ostomy. This is Holiday Edition. I'm here with my dad. For Christmas this year I got him a bison tri-tip and an elk tri-tip. And he's the amateur grill master in our family and our holiday things. So he's going to walk us through preparing them and cooking them, and then we're going to find out if you can eat some of these exotic meats with an ostomy. You've already got it started a little bit. Why don't you explain what you've already done and what we're going to be doing before we actually cook it?
No problem. What I did was got an aluminum tray, plain and simple, and we weren't even thawed out yet. So I put a base of lemon pepper, granulated garlic, granulated onion, Lowry seasoning salt, which is an old-time secret, thyme, don't have much left, and some coarse ground pepper. I didn't put salt on it because there's salt in the seasoning. Then I put whole milk on it. That's what you do with venison. Go ahead and get a close-up there. And so I remember my grandmother doing that when we get deer. And quite frankly, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to give it our best shot. But that's what we use. This is a good combination for spice rubs. You can throw in paprika and other things. Kind of spice to taste. That's really the whole thing. And so that's how we're going to go. And we'll cover it up and we'll head out to the flame.
Hurry up before we run out of time.
Get the heat down to about 325, I'm guessing, and we'll go from there.
So while that's going, also I wanted to talk to my dad a little bit. For anyone out there, children diagnosed, in particular adult children, because I had just turned 27 about a month before. Well, actually before I had the symptoms, then I was diagnosed a little later. What was that like for you to see me just suddenly become so sick?
Well, actually, it's extremely difficult because things are going so well, you know, for everybody, for you, and then getting the hang of having no one in the house and all that. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but it's an adjustment. Yeah. And so we did that, and then you came home, and the couple times you're in the hospital and a C. diff and all that kind of stuff, and we were just terrified. Spent a lot of time asking God to help, and then actually I'd maintained my weight. This is a good story. Maintained my weight between 185 and 195 for over a decade. Yeah, I hadn't had a fast food hamburger in like probably 12, 15 years. And the first night he was really sick in the hospital. I'm sorry, I went to Burger King and had a Whopper, and it's been downhill ever since. That's really how it is, and you just hope for the best, and it's kind of like, honestly, the sun will go down and the sun will come up. And both literally and figuratively. And you want the best for everybody, and you just have to do your small part in what it takes to make things work out best. And you can't get upset with doctors or nurses or whatever, and they're all doing their job, and you think that, well, no, they're not, but actually they are to the best of their ability, and that's really the big thing. You just have to be patient. Then everybody adjusted. Actually, things we're real happy with how things are now. Yeah, you bet.
Let's check on the meat, see how it's going.
I think the elk's going to be done before the bison because it's awfully lean meat. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm back to Burger King. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the moon pie story that we referenced earlier, after when I was first sick and they sent me home, they had me on, I don't remember exactly what they call it, like a low residue, low fiber. I know some doctors call it different things, but essentially just easy to digest foods, not a lot of fiber. So I just went home eating a lot of it's really junk food that I did not normally eat. So one of my favorite foods when I was little were those little moon pie, kind of sandwiches, marshmallow, chocolate. I used to like the vanilla ones, but we got a box of those, and I think I ate 2. I think there were maybe 12 in a box, and then I had gone in for some tests or something, and they sent me right back in the hospital, and I was in there for 3 or 4 days. When I came out, I was looking forward to having some of those moon pies, and I got home and they weren't there, and I asked where they were, and my mom had told me, oh, your father ate them all. It's just, he has all this nervous energy from you being sick, so that was one of the other ways he coped. Is as he said, with the Burger King, that just ate a lot. So it definitely takes a toll on the parents as well.
I even went out and bought an RC Cola to go with the moon pie.
It's like many of you, I lost a ton of weight, and probably about 40 to 50 pounds more or less from just my weight at the time. After moving home, my dad installed padded toilet seats because my bony butt was just having a hard time spending all that time seated on the toilet. It's really uncomfortable. So that's just another kind of, looking back now, it's kind of funny. It's a good story that I remember at the time. But back then, it was not all that fun. I didn't care if it was padded or hard. It was just not fun sitting there. But yeah, the padded seats, I didn't even know they made those until I got sick. But he came home and had them and changed them out, and that helped a little bit as well. So,
I didn't get the one with heaters in them either.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
But yeah, that's the just funny thing that I remember from back then, being really sick.
I think we'll be just fine.
Looks good. I'm ready to go eat. Let's go make a sandwich. Let's make the sandwich. Just give me a few seconds. Then we'll make it. So to make the sandwich, I bought a Talara roll, which is known, usually used for a torta. It's a Mexican sandwich. I've never actually had one before. I was just looking for something at the store that looked good to make this big sandwich with, and never tried it, so I thought that would be a good opportunity. I'm gonna put a little avocado on mine. I'm just kind of making this up. It's obviously it's the meat that's the draw. So, and then put some of the bison first. And I'm just looking to make a nice big sandwich. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen me eat some really large things. This one's not too ridiculous, over the top large. It's just big. I'm gonna put down the meat. I'm just trying to spread it kind of evenly. Again, this is the bison. I'm gonna put little onions on it. I just sauteed them. That. 2 slices of cheese on there. Then we're just gonna kind of repeat that same thing. Put a little bit of the elk now. It's roughly 3.5 ounces of each. About a 7 ounces of meat. It's nothing too complicated or crazy. Just a nice big sandwich. And I just personally, I don't really like any of the regular condiments or any kind of sauces or anything on my on the buns. So you could probably toast it or something. I bet that tastes good also. So we're just gonna put that back in the oven for a little bit just to melt the cheese a little. Then we're gonna go give it a try and see how it is. I tried to cut it. Didn't cut all the way. Actually did cut pretty well. So try a little bit. It's the bison. It's just very similar to just a beef tri-tip. It's hard to tell the difference between the elk and bison. So obviously I got the cheese, onions, and avocado in there as well. But I can definitely taste some of that smokiness. So my dad kind of experimenting a little definitely came out good. Tastes good. That was a really, really good sandwich. Thank you for tuning in to the exotic meat wild game edition of What Can You Eat with an Ostomy. So I can't wait for the rest of this trip. And my mother's got some antelope lasagna coming up soon. So can't wait to try that out. We'll see how that tastes.